Here's why it's absolutely essential that you understand from a spiritual nature the difference between male energy and female energies. So let's take a look at the basic nature of an electrical wave again. You got energy that goes up, goes down, positive, negative, and the energy flows between the two poles. So let's take a look at the process of the energy going up and then coming down in a more exaggerated fashion. So I drew this line here. It shows the energy going up, and then it shows the energy spiraling back down. It's the basic nature of electricity. It's the basic nature of you. You're just a big electrical wave. And God is just a big electrical wave. So if you don't understand the way energy works, you can't understand God. So let's take a look. This is the energy coming up. It's building up. Let's say this is golden mean ratio. About 2/3 building up, and then about 1/3 coming back down. That way it's always creating more than it's taking from itself. That way you can sustain infinitely and actually grow. So the optimal way to structure an electrical wave is actually an orgasm, and that's the golden mean ratio, produces an orgasm. So the energy is climbing. You're doing all the work to build up the energy to create the orgasm, and then the orgasm peaks out, and then now you're riding the contractions down. You're just soaking up the rest of the energy from the actual energetic event and all the work. And now, so there's quite a bit of energy left, and you're just riding that energy down back to the baseline, and then eventually you come back down all the way. So male energy is the building up of the energy. It's the growing of the energy. And the female is the consuming of the energy. It doesn't actually create, it consumes, and it's on the way down. Keep in mind, this is all just energy, so you can't be judgmental of energy. And the Lord told me and showed me these things. He said from 6 to 9 there's darkness. And what that means is you got the 2/3 here where you're building up, and then just like Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the universe, you understand the 3, 6, and 9. So from 6 to 9 is the female. That's where all the work's already been done. Here you did all the work to, let's say, a farming analogy. You're doing all the work, you till the land, you bring water for months and all this work. And then finally you get all the fruit and you get the harvest, and you're ready to have a big feast, and you're ready to eat all the food and relax and sit around with fat bellies and then make love, have children, all that good stuff. You're ready to enjoy the harvest, all the fruits of the labor. So the reason why this is life or death importance is because life and light only comes from the Father. Death and darkness comes from the Mother. So you need to understand that male energy gives energy. You can receive energy from it, whereas female energy consumes energy. You can't get energy from it. Whatever you interact with it, it's going to take energy from you. You're not going to get energy from it. So you need to know, if you want energy, if you want life and light, there's only one place to get it. You can't get it from over here. People have tried to worship over here and tried to have idols and all kinds of things to try to get stuff. But you can't get things from the female. You can only get things from the male. And that's why, in the Bible they say the only good things come from the Father, and the rest of them are just illusions, and they're actually toxic. And that's because this is the only place you can get real fruit. If you want real stuff, if you want real energy, you got to go here. And this is so important because you're one of these toroids and you're an energy field, but you will run out of energy. This thing will lose steam and run out of energy if you don't connect to the Father and receive more of it. So if you're connecting over here and worshiping the false god or idols and or female, it'll suck the life right out of you. It'll suck the life out of your soul. And if you worship over here, you will see real light, real nourishment, and you will power up your soul. So that's why everybody puts their faith over here and worships over here, because you receive real things from it. You receive real abundance, real energy, real nourishment. If you try to worship over here or try to get stuff over here, what you get is illusions and delusions, and you get the life sucked out of you. This literally consumes the life and light. So it's the exact opposite of this. It's just energy flowing in a different direction. See, this energy is going to the right and it's going up. It's increasing energy. This energy is going to the left and it's coming down and it's decreasing energy. So if you want to decrease your energy, go over here. If you want to increase your energy, you go over here. It's not to be judgmental and say one's better than the other or should be over here. It's just, look, if you want these things or if you want anything real, then you have to get it from over here. There's no way anytime you try to get stuff over here, it'll take more from you than it gives you. So you got to know you're not sustainable. You need a source to hook into to feed yourself. You have to. You can't go on without it or you die. It's a lie that your soul is eternal. It's not, unless you're hooked into the Father. That's the only beings that are eternal, are the ones that are connected to that source. So the way the Lord showed me was, I was sitting there and he popped open a toroid around me. And I was basically, so picture yourself sitting in the middle of this. Just picture you're meditating right here. You're sitting in the middle of it. And this is your energy field around you and you could see it. So you're looking out into this little bubble. And what he showed me was that, so let's say this is this toroid right here. This is my attempt at trying to draw what your energy field looks like and the way it flows. So here's a toroid. And what he showed me was there's 2 points inside of here. There's a point right here. We'll call that 9 o'clock. And there's a point over here and we'll call that 6 o'clock. And so if you look up here and place your awareness over here, you think you're a male and you're projecting out energy. If you place your awareness down here, the energy is going in the other direction and it feels like you're a female and you're sucking in energy. Because if this is really your soul, and remember before I showed you the ball of showed you that you're just a ball of electricity, a ball of plasma. So if you're a soul that has just a ball of energy and you don't really have a sex organ, so if the ball of energy doesn't have a penis or a vagina to identify it sexually, how do you decide who's male and who's female? Well, it's by, are you putting your attention here or is your attention down here? You're up here. It's just like colors. All the colors are just different angles reflecting off this toroid. It's the same toroid, but it's reflecting light at different angles, and you think you see a different color. It's a completely different experience just because you're looking at the energy from a different angle. The same thing with male and female. It's the same, it's all one. There's not any difference between a male and a female except that one is putting out energy and one's sucking in energy. So here's my depiction of the female. When you have your place of awareness up here, and then your place of awareness down here, it's flipped upside down. So it's consuming, it's sucking in energy. And then if you have your awareness up here and down here, this is the way it's supposed to look in a healthy energy field. Male, if you're sitting in this toroid and you look up straight out of your head, look straight up and then look slightly to the right, there's a point right here, and that's where you really perceive God from. And then down here is where you really perceive the female, the earth realm from. So right now everything is upside down. The father's supposed to be on the top, but it's on the bottom. The female is on the top here. But anyway, try not to get too confusing. What we need to know is these are just opposite. These are just the same ball, but you're looking at it flipped. All you're doing is flipping the whole thing. Or you're actually like flipping and rotating it while you flip it. So there's no such thing as male or female souls. A soul can suck in energy and can be female if it perceives itself that way, or it can be a male and it can put out energy if it perceives itself that way. So the thing is the Lord told me that anyone that believes that they're a male or female is only half of an entity, and you separate yourself from God that way, and that you need to become a whole entity. You need both eyes to see as one, to be as a single eye. So if you got, you need to understand there's no such thing as male or female. There's souls that are sucking in energy and there's souls that are putting out energy. And depending on God's will, some of you should be sucking in energy and some of you should be putting out energy, and we take turns doing that in cycles. And everybody gets assigned, okay, you're going to be sucking in energy over here, consuming it. You're going to be the female, and then you're going to be the male over here. You're going to put out energy, and everyone's going to consume that. So if someone is in a perspective where they identify as a male or a female, this person is sick spiritually. And you need to know that you're a toroid and that you can express female energy if you need to, and you can express male energy if you need to. You're not actually a male or a female. Those are just electrical terms to refer to energy dynamics. So now that you know that you're not male or female, some of you are just expressing female qualities and some of you are expressing male qualities, but you both have, you see, even this person that has their awareness deep into the 6, they think they're a female, and then they still have some male, because this is the whole other side of the toroid. But when you're perceiving it, you can still see they can still produce a little bit of energy. They can still give a little bit of energy, but mainly they're just taking energy. And there's not anything wrong with that when it's done. Consuming energy can be done in a cycle that's beneficial for everybody. So don't be judgmental of the female when I say that all it does is consume, because that's the way God designed it. And same thing, the male, he can still receive some. He's mainly putting out, but he can still receive a little bit. So you're not really a male or a female. You're just expressing different expressions of male or female at the time, depending on what you're scheduled to do. And so this is really important because people like to get into rivalry between male and female. And so if you identify as a male or a female, you automatically start to rival against the other. And so it's important to see yourself as not male or female, but as a whole one. So the Lord showed me these energy dynamics to help your mind grasp that you can't rival against male or female energy, or you're just really committing suicide. And here's why. So let's say you have this energy flow. It's going between a positive and negative, and you want that to keep going forever because that's your vitality as a soul. So if that stops, you die. So you want this energy not only to keep going, but possibly even get better, get more intense, pick up steam, pick up charge.